Good afternoon, and welcome to our dedication of our Chicagoland Combined Veterans Museum, Honor Wall, and Library. In a moment, I ask you to please join me in honoring our flag and nation. But before we do that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the two gentlemen that we have that are going to do that for us. Mr. Matteo Ronaldo is an Italian immigrant who came to the United States, joined the military, and attained the rank of Specialist 5 before deciding to pursue other avenues. He will be singing their national anthem. Mr. Barney Duffner. He served in Vietnam, was awarded the Silver Star and 2 Purple Hearts. He will do our Pledge of Allegiance today. With no further wait, please stand and join me in our national anthem and our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Major, very much for this great invitation. I'm very honored. And before we sing the national, I'm talking about Major Lorenzo Fiorentino, the commander of this post. Thank you again. Also, before I sing the national anthem, I would like to honor, we should all honor all the men and women that gave up their lives so we can enjoy this great freedom as we're doing today is a great example. So please join me in a moment of silence before the national anthem. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, everybody please join in the pledge of allegiance of the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please be seated. So I'd like to introduce our chaplain for the day, Commander and Chaplain Waldemar A. Killian. He is a Roman Catholic priest in the Archdiocese of Chicago. A native of Poland, he was ordained in 1987 in Rome. He came to the United States in 1989 and has served in primarily the Archdiocese of Chicago as an associate pastor, hospital chaplain, and pastor. In 1998, he became a United States citizen and was commissioned as a Navy chaplain. He has served in the Navy Reserve and Marine Reserve. In 2005, 3 years after he was named pastor of St. Bruno Parish on the south side of Chicago, he was mobilized and deployed in support of 2nd Marine Division in Iraq, where he spent 9 months on the ground. In 2010, he was recalled to active duty, receiving orders to report for duty with the Naval Station Great Lakes at NAVSTA Command as the NAVSTA Command Chaplain, to assume the position of Command Chaplain at Navy Station Great Lakes. In 2013, he received orders to the 1st Marine Air Wing in Okinawa, Japan, to take position as the Command Chaplain. In November 2013, he was a member of the primary responders to rescue the population of the area hit by Hurricane Yolanda in the Philippines. In 2015, during preparation for a major exercise our chaplain became sick, and due to the need of major surgery, he traveled back to the United States and became hospitalized. In 2016, he was medically retired. If you would please join me in welcoming Commander Killian.
Let us now pray. Almighty everlasting God, whose greatness has been witnessed throughout the history of humanity, we stand in awe of your power and might. In humble adoration, we praise your name. By your infinite wisdom, you have guided our ancestors in good times as well as bad. You have ordered their lives in times of peace and through the periods when distrust between people erupted in war. By their perseverance, we continue to know of your mercy and grace. Now we call upon you to continue to direct our steps and to order our lives, that they may be dedicated to your praise and glory. We are gathered here now in this place, a place we would set aside to honor the men and women of our armed forces. Men and women who, in giving of themselves, have endured separation from family and friends, have given of their time and skills, have placed freedom for others over their own safety. In the performance of duty, some have paid the price of loss of bodily members. Some have given their all, even their very lives, to the call to serve. To all of these brave individuals, we owe much gratitude. Today, in their honor, we now dedicate this library, this museum, monuments crafted by human hands with love, as tribute to all who have answered to the call to duty as members of our family, our military forces for today and of the days gone by. No longer may we take for granted the unmentionable actions that may have been necessary in the pursuit of freedom. No longer may we fail to give thanks to those whose actions are too often left unappreciated. May this place, this library, this museum, be a reminder of the sacrifices that have been made and will be made in our feeble attempts to make this world a better place. May we all be enriched by your blessings. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Village President David B. Guerin was born and raised in River Grove. He attended River Grove School, East Leiden, and Triton College, where he studied hospitality services and business management. At the age of 20, Dave, with the help of his best friend and business partner, Brock Leader, opened his first business, which was the Cock Robin Ice Cream. Since 2006, Dave has owned and operated the underpass on Grand Avenue. In addition to his business ventures, Dave has been active in the River Grove community for many, many years. He has been a member of the River Grove Lions Club for over 18 years and has served as the president for the last 2 years. He has been voted Lion of the Year twice. He has received the President's Award and the Governor's Award for Excellence. Dave also has been a member of the Shriners and Scottish Rite for 5 years. Dave is proud to be a lifelong River Grover and resides with his wife Lauren, a registered nurse at Elmhurst Hospital, his 15-year-old stepdaughter, Daniela, 7-year-old daughter, Audrey, and his 2-year-old son, David Jr. We are proud to introduce our village president, David B. Guerin.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Commander Ferrantino, the Museum and Library Committee, as well as the entire command staff for inviting me today. Your group is very important to the Village of River Grove and the entire community. Thank you for all you do. It's a beautiful day here in River Grove, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a great honor to be a small part of such a wonderful project. There's never been a more appropriate weekend to reveal the Veterans Museum than the weekend before Veterans Day. Although our nation thanks all veterans on that day, it is my personal belief that we thank veterans every day. They have spent vast amounts of time away from their families and personal lives to protect our freedoms like free elections, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And most importantly, keeping our families safe. And on behalf of the entire Village of River Grove, I thank you. Now with this museum, we can visit it throughout the year, learning about our military past, honor the troops serving today, and educate our kids about the future of all branches of our great and courageous military. On behalf of the entire Village of River Grove, I congratulate the Combined Veterans Commands and their supporters who have spent countless hours bringing this museum to life. River Grove is proud to have the museum in our village, and we look forward to enjoying it for many generations to come. Thank you.
Our featured speaker is a combat veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan, and the former police chief of Bellwood, Illinois. Illinois Army National Guard Brigadier General Rodney Boyd was recently appointed as the Assistant Chief of Staff, Joint Logistics Wartime for the U.S. Forces Korea. General Boyd was promoted to Brigadier General earlier in spring, making him the first African-American general officer in the Illinois Army National Guard since 1992. Now that's how the Army recommends that I introduce General Boyd. That's not how I'm going to introduce him. General Boyd has had a beautiful, loving relationship with his wife of over 30 years, Miss Darling Coleman Boyd, who unfortunately I wish she would have been here, but she couldn't be here today. Together they've raised two amazing young men, Randy Cornelius Boyd and Rodney Boyd, both of whom are Morehouse men. He has served his community as a police officer for almost 30 years, and he was able to stay true and steadfast to his principles while he and his family have endured multiple deployments overseas. If you look at his uniform, it tells you the whole story. He is truly and genuinely one of the most upstanding individuals that I have ever known. I was fortunate to have been able to serve with him, and I am proud and humbled to introduce my friend and General Rodney Boyd Sr.
Wow, what an introduction. How you follow that up, right? Well, good afternoon, Mayor Garrett, Colonel Bacci, Chaplain Killiman, and Commander/Major Retired Lorenzo Fiorentino, my good friend, and all other distinguished guests and visitors. Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here today for the grand opening of the Chicagoland Combined Veterans Museum and the dedication of the honor wall. How fitting is it to be here a few days before Veterans Day, as the mayor mentioned. A day in which we honor all of those who wore and are wearing the uniform in service of our country. I remember back in 2004, 2005, while Lorenzo and I were deployed to Kabul, Afghanistan, that Lorenzo would always ask other service members for patches, crests, and other military items. After a while, his collection started to grow. So to the point that he started mailing them home. Right, Lauren? Eventually, he was given entire uniforms from several of the coalition forces that we served with. I would ask him, what are you going to do with all those items? He said, Rod, someday I'm going to open a museum. And my response at the time was, yeah, sure you are. In 2019, Lorenzo became the commander of the American Legion Post here and the adjutant for the Veterans of Foreign War Post of 5979, at which time he put his plan into motion. He was able to gain support from several members of the post and village administrators, to include Mayor Garin. As a result of all the hard efforts of all of those involved, the museum and honor wall came into fruition. A museum, by definition, is a building or place where works of art, scientific specimens, or other objects of permanent value are kept and displayed. I would add that a museum is like a good story. The displays tell the story of a specific event captured during a specific time. Sometimes the interpretation of those events are left to the viewer of those displays. A museum is a gift that keeps on giving. This museum is a beautiful collection of veterans' exploits and serves to preserve their past for generations of future Americans. As you look at the photos on the piano and a curio cabinet, all of whom are on the honor wall, know that the larger are of service members that pay the ultimate price. Lorenzo tells me that that's what it is all about. Preserving those service members' memories and inspiring future people to serve in our great services. Last week, I called Lorenzo to gather information on the museum and the honor wall, and to get a little bit more background on how it came to be. During that conversation, I asked Lorenzo, where did he find the time to dedicate such a huge task? He replied that the project was a labor of love, and that if he could do it full time, he would. So as you view the displays, know that a lot of sweat equity and love went into putting those displays together. In conclusion, I would like to congratulate Commander Fiorentino and the team that put a lot of time and in some cases money into this project so that the community will be able to enjoy for years to come. And I also like to thank all the spouses that supported them in their endeavor over the years. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day, and a happy early Veterans Day to all the veterans in the crowd. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Everything that he said, except the bad stuff, is true. Colonel Ron Bacci is a U.S. Army retired colonel. He serves as the president of the Italian American Veterans Museum Board of Directors and is a board member of the Civil Affairs Military Association. He is chair emeritus, Illinois Committee Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. Ron's extensive career in financial operations culminated as a senior vice president of ABN AMRO Services Company, otherwise known as LaSalle Bancorp. Colonel Bacci instructed undergraduate courses in business and human resources management as an adjunct faculty at Dominican University, Brennan School of Business in River Forest, Illinois. He also developed and facilitated a community leadership program targeting professional development of aspiring community leaders. During his 30-year military career, he served as an infantry officer, an armor officer, and a civil affairs officer. His active duty tours included Bosnia, Croatia, Germany, Italy, good country, and the Netherlands. While mobilized for Operation Joint Endeavor in Bosnia in 1996, He worked directly with the World Bank in developing a functional financial system for the country of Bosnia. He volunteers in various capacities with the Knights Templar doing charitable activities. Ron was honored by the Order of the Sons of Italy in America with the Columbus Patriot Award for outstanding military service and received the Cardinal Bernardine Humanitarian of the Year Award, military category, from the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans. Welcome, Colonel Bacci.
Before I start, I'd like to do something, and we did honor veterans, but I really would like, I know a lot of the veterans are already standing, but I would ask all veterans to stand up and let's give them a really good round of applause. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I'd like to just bring you into a little bit of knowledge about the Italian American Veterans Museum. It's located in Casa Italia, which is the Italian Cultural Center in Stone Park, so not that far from here. It was started by a fellow named Tony Fornelli, and he had such a feeling of honoring veterans, in particular Italian American veterans, that he put together this museum. A lot of his own cash went into it. He wanted to honor his Uncle Lou, who had been in Guadalcanal and earned a Silver Star for his actions there. Went into a lot of work to create it. In Memorial Day of 2006, we opened, and we've been going along since then. We have no full-time staff. Our board of directors, including Lorenzo, take turns helping out making events happen. We're very proud of the museum. It's got a lot of interesting things in it, and it's a little bit bigger than yours, but yours is so compact and you can see it all real quick by walking through here. Ours, you would probably walk around for about another 20 minutes beyond what you would here. Our favorite exhibit, the one that I'm so proud of, is our Medal of Honor exhibit. Italian Americans were the largest ethnic group that fought during the Second World War. A lot of people don't know that. 26 Italian Americans have won the Congressional, or the Medal of Honor as it should be called, and not only in Second World War, but in general. 26 of those people won that award. We have a special display with just the Medal of Honor recipients discussed. So there's a write-up on every one of them. But what I'm really proud of in that exhibit is we actually have a Medal of Honor that's on loan from the Department of the Army. Now you say, well, what's the big deal about that? The Pritzker Museum downtown and Cantigny both have a Medal of Honor, but those were donated by someone either after they passed away or just wanted to have it displayed. Our Medal of Honor is on loan from the Department of the Army. We have to return it if we ever close down. Hopefully that won't happen. We have it in a special bulletproof case within the exhibit about the Medal of Honor winners. So we're very proud of that because it was given to us because they felt we could honor those Medal of Honor winners by having it as part of the display. Our displays go from the American Revolution all the way up to the current wars. A lot of information on World War II, Korea, Vietnam, just a wide range of information. A few years back, we created a video called 5,000 Miles from Home. You can buy it if you'd like off of our website. And it documents a lot of the people that were involved in the Second World War that are Italian Americans. We're very proud of that. We highlight in every aspect Italian Americans, but we service all veterans. Not too long ago we had a fair, an open house where we brought in people representing all the service providers for veterans. This was in early January of this year, and We had veterans come in, not just Italian Americans, but veterans from all services, branches, and ethnic backgrounds came to visit our museum, had a chance to ask questions of these service organizations. There were 18 service organizations there. We're very proud of doing things like that to bring the veterans help when it's possible. So we're very proud of the museum. Other than that, I would like to say we can't be open right now wholesale, but if you'd like to visit the museum, on Saturdays we will give guided tours for groups of 10 or less. So one of our people, one of our board members will take you around in the museum, but you have to pre-arrange that. So you just go on to our website. It's IAV for Italian American Veterans, IAV and the word museum, all one. Go out, look at our website. You can find a lot of good information. I'm extremely proud. All of you who live in the Chicago area know of Windy City Live program on television. And on Veterans Day, they interviewed me and we had a clip on Windy City Live about the museum. Producer from the Channel 7 did a beautiful job of that. It's available for you to look at if you go on to the ABC7 Chicago website and go into their area of the website called Localish. And in there are all kinds of little clips, but there's the clip about the museum, and they did a beautiful job of showing you the exhibits. Once you look at that, you're probably going to say, sooner or later, I got to get to that museum and look around. And but I'm also proud of the work that Lorenzo and his team did here. There's some things in here that we don't have at our museum, and of course we have stuff that he doesn't have. So you got to get to both of them, is what I'm saying. So thank you very much.
So I'd like to start with my initial idea about the museum. So I remember back when we first started getting more involved with the museum in 2019, I floated the idea, hey, let's do a museum. Of course, I had mixed reaction. You know, we had some that were like, we're not even going to bother. But one of my strongest supporters, one of the guys that was my first enlistee in making this thing happen was Richard Junick. Rich, through thick and thin, low and high, he's always been my sounding board, and I've been his sounding board, and we've been able to make this thing happen. With his excitement, we were able to get Barney Duffner excited. We were able to get Bert Patania excited. We were able to get Billy Castellano excited. There you go. Yeah, there you go. We got Sean Schroeder, the commander of the VFW, excited, and together, both the VFW and the American Legion were able to start doing more activities together, and we became more of a cohesive organization between the Legion and the VFW. I think sometimes Sean would just like me to be the commander of both, but he does an outstanding job being the commander of the VFW, and that's the way he needs to stay. Salvatore Palazzolo, who when he's not busy flying around the country, is here helping. Dave Ruiz, who, although he ended up in the hospital, he kept telling me, sorry I can't be there, sorry. I mean, I didn't think I was like a mean guy or anything, but I felt like maybe he thought I was going to find him in the hospital bed and do horrible things to him. And I told him, I said, if you can be here, be here. If you can't be here, it means you got something else you got to do, you know. Eddie Rossi and all of Public Works Director Brent Leader. I don't know if he's here right now, but it doesn't. Oh, Brock Leader. Brock Leader. And the reason I get him confused is because I talk to his dad at least once a week too, and he's Brent. But without him, this wouldn't have happened. He's the one that pitched the idea to me. He goes, what about we put the museum in here? And I was like, not a bad idea, you know. And I don't think he had even asked the mayor yet, but obviously the mayor bought off on it, so it worked. So once again, and if I'm, you know, we got Ralph Remico, who's got his own things going on, you know, and when he can be here, he's here and he helps us. We got members from other posts who bring stuff to us, and I'm glad to see so many different posts here today. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the numbers are, so I can't personally recognize you, but I know 974 is like our sister post. and we support them as much as we can, as often as we can. Obviously, there's way too many people to thank, but I do appreciate all the help and everything that we get from the community. The honor roll was the most important thing in that museum. Period. It represents all of us that did serve, and it specifically highlights those that didn't make it home for one reason or another. Okay. The other most important thing in there are the stories of our veterans. Countless number of times I've tried to find next of kins. Those are like former husbands, wives, and I can't find any. So what we do is, with the help of Tita and Mimi, friends of relatives of Richard, we put everything in binders. So if someday, a grandchild comes in and says, my grandfather was in the military, I can't find anything. Hopefully we have that archived in our museum. So those are all the various things, the undertakings that we've looked forward and tried to do. But the most important thing, I have to thank my wife, who is the most understanding person in the world. Okay, but without her, I couldn't do nearly what I do. I got to thank my daughter Gina, who whenever she's able to support her dad, she does, and my son Anthony, who's busy trying to become a veterinarian and hopefully help find the cure for COVID. He's working on that with one of his teams in Iowa. Which the way they're spreading it around, I hope they do. All right, so good luck to him. I know he wanted to be here. He couldn't, because if he was here, his cells would die. So it's important he keeps the cells alive. But without my wife, without my kids, without my family, there's no way any of this, I could have done it. I'm sure someone else could have, but I couldn't have been the one to make a lot of this happen. And then, of course, there's so many people to thank. And I had a program here, but I won't bore you with it because you can all read the program. But very, very much, I do also want to thank Miss Yvette Santiago. If you're here, raise your hand. Okay, Miss Yvette Santiago, oh, there she is, created this. All right, and I'll tell you, it was great because I didn't have to worry about any of it. I sent the information to Richard sent it off, and I didn't have to worry about any of it. And it turned out outstanding, thank you. And then, without any further ado, I'll stop rambling, and if our chaplain would do our benediction.
As we all appreciate the weather and the time spent here and the prayer that we offer for our veterans as well, we set up to remember all what is happening around the world, and we need the blessing to continue in these uneasy times, especially now when all of us are concerned about the safety of all. So we pause for a moment, and in silence also we pray as we ask for ourselves and for those in need. Father Almighty, now as we go our separate ways, may the great ruler of all high places, the God of many names, touch you with a wind that keeps you strong for all the days to come. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Okay, and in closing, please enjoy the museum. Of course, try and observe as best you can, seeing, etc., and so on. None of us want to get sick. Go ahead and talk to our Civil War reenactor. He's going to start popping off some rounds soon. Don't get nervous. It's him. All right. I know we got some police officers. It's just him. We're good. If anyone needs water, we have bottled water inside. Unfortunately, that's all we're going to serve today is just bottled water. Please, if you need it, ask or go right on in and get it. Bathrooms are also inside. One of the soldiers asked me, "Oh, where's the bathrooms?" I said, "Dude, we got a river right over there. What do you need a bathroom for, right?" So, but we do have indoor bathrooms. Someone wants to play the drums. Oh, hey. Of course, Mr. Shasteen and the 144th Army National Guard Band. Now, I'll be honest with I'm an honest guy. I'll be honest with you. I thought to myself, you know, we might as well see if the band will show up. Maybe they'll send 7, 8 guys. I guess it helps when the general shows up. But no, all joking aside, when I heard the whole band was gonna be here, I think I was like, oh my God, do we have enough room? And then I said, we'll make the room. I mean, that is just amazing. I can't thank the band enough. Their AICON, that means Advanced Party Individual, came here and met with me. All I said was, this here. Corporal Nord, someday you're gonna run that band, all right? So keep doing what you're doing. He put the layout together with Dave, and they made it happen. So thank you so much, and please enjoy everything else that we got going on today. Thank you, and hope to see you around.
Wait a minute.
Oh. This is Commander Anthony Siciliano.
Wait a minute, Commander. You're not going to get away that easily. My senior vice, Kendall Bishop, on behalf of the American Legion Post 974 family, you guys, would you please stand up and help us make this presentation? 974. All right.
Where's all my post members?
All right, and all our members from
Barney.
our American Legion family, 335, our VFW.
Eduardo.
Come on, guys.
Don't be shy. No reason to be shy, gents.
All right, now,
Everybody. Legion, VFW.
no, we got them. We got the VFW 5979. Where are you? You here?
Mayor.
Where's our mayor?
Right here. Coming up.
All right, excellent.
Bet you've never seen this many ugly guys in one photo, right?
All right, presented to Combined Veterans Museum in honor of your continued support to the community by keeping the history and memories of the veterans, where they came from, what they did, and who they've become. We now present to you, Commander. Got it?
Ready?
Get him out of There you go.
You should. There he is. Awesome.
There you go. Kendall, where are you? Where is he?
Rich. Kendall? John, now let someone take the picture and you get in the picture.
Yeah, come on in here.
Up in the picture. There you go. Is that right in your face?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, how about
The eagle flies high, man.
all right, let's skip it.
Suck it in, boys.
Look at it, boys.
Make your buddy smile.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, who said that? Chaplain, you didn't hear that.
Keep your hands where I can see them, buddy.
How we doing?
Don't hurt. You didn't even say hi. That's beautiful. You want to find a place for it in the museum?
I'm gonna put it in my truck.
Yeah, all right.
I got a perfect spot for it.
Thank you, everyone. We all appreciate it. Thank you.
There it goes. Thank you.
Yeah.